Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Crafting in a Small Space. I am Miranda and this is Small Space Car. I have recently made a bunch of batches of stitch markers and I would like to make a video showing the different ones that I've made. And yesterday we went to Goodwill and I got one of those sealed vases with a bunch of jewelry in it, and it was like a Christmas one, and I'm going to make so many batches of stitch markers to like sell somewhere. I don't know where yet, but it's fun making them, and I made a bunch of these and I would like to show you from the hands down perspective. One second. Okay, so here's the first one, and I buy these fabric hair ties. They're about as big around as your finger. I do not know the millimeter off the top of my head, but I use so many different, knitting needles that, I make the chunky hats, so you got to have the chunky needles. And then I make worsted weight shawls or fingering shawls, things like that. So I don't really want to change this part of it. So I use the clasp, so you can unclasp and clasp it onto your work if you want. I choose not to do that. I just use the knitting needle through this hair tie, and instead of having to adjust it, you just get one size kind of fits all. And I put the corresponding colors on. So there's one, and I love this one. It's actually like kind of a foresty green ring on it. I thought that the web glued in the dark with the others, but it doesn't. One of the Halloween-y ones I made. And the bead on him is actually like a candy corn color. There's like a stripe in there of white and yellow. This little guy is so cute. Turn around. Sometimes he has a mohawk. Sometimes that's just framing his face. Hold on, let me fix this one and see if he'll sit forward for a second. There we go. He looks like he's just got his little head in a vice grip. That's super funny. This is the other one I made from that same strand. It was either an alternative web and spider, and so I took it apart and made like a bunch. And I did a bunch of jeweled ones. I love the way they look in the light too, like when you look through them. I'm like, my arm is against the back of the chair. I can only go back so far. There we go. And I had this pair of earrings, and there were 3 bears. There was a purple bear, a teal bear, and like a pink bear. And it has a little skeleton, so I took it apart and made stitch markers out of them. I think that's so funny. They're so silly. That was the bottom bear, so it didn't have a hole in the bottom. Another Halloween themed one. This is one of the ones I made more recently, and I wanted it to be kind of like a fidget thing. You like play with it and you can like spin the little triangles when you're thinking. And I was doing that after I made it. I was sitting there, I was talking, and I was like playing with it. I can't do it with one hand, but my hand is on the other side. It's so far away. But love this. And then let's see, where's the other one? Oh, this used to be one of the pieces. See how yellowed it is and rusty? This actually was part of the keychain for one of my motorcycles. And so this was always out in the rain. It holds up pretty well. And then there's a pink one. It is actually pink. And the center bead has a little iridescence, but the center bead is like wine colored. I love how delicate they are. They're so cute. A plain green one. I don't really have a lot of heavy stuff hanging from my work because I don't want to pull any stitches, So I just thought I would make some like dainty ones. And I was looking online not that long ago, and there's people that are using like maybe one of these 2 pink and purple beads, and that's their stitch marker. And I was like, that is very dainty, but oh, this is one of my favorites. just little things to decorate your stuff with, and I find them very fun. Oh, here's another one of those green ones where the bead is really neat all the way around. Trying to find my favorite. Here's kind of a more iridescent one. Here's my favorites. Oh, this is one of them. This is one of my favorites. This was like 6 of these bundles on one, and I don't know what it was supposed to be, if it was a piece of a necklace or if it was a piece of like an earring, but I just loved a little spray of the little gems on these rings. So I took it apart, and I could make like 5 more of these or 3 more of these. I don't remember how many there were, but they were so cute. Looks so like pixie kind of thing to me. Second to the last one. Second to the last favorite, anyway. It's one of my favorite because it's very amber colored. I like the amber. And I tried to use the more vintage one on this because there's a vintage ring versus the non-vintage ring. And it didn't look good with the amber. So I chose to go bright silver with it. And this one's my favorite. And all I did was put a ring around it and put 3 different colored beads on it. But I just love that. Oh my God, I just dropped it. Well, it almost got eaten by my car. But yeah. I just put a few beads. I was like, oh, what do I do with this one? And it's just cute by itself. So I just thought I'd put some corresponding beads with whatever ring I chose. But yeah. And then I have... Oh, wait, where's the one I made the other day? This is one of the last pieces that I have left. I bought like 1 million of these little jack-o'-lanterns, and I made one for my work I'm working on right now. But I just finished the cowl, so when I cast on the hat or the headband here in a minute, then I will use him to mark my way. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me zoom out a squishy bit. Oh, these things hiding in here. Did I miss one? Maybe I missed one. But I am slowly going to fill this up with all of them. And then put some of these in my stash because I have like this thing that holds all my craft supplies in it. But I like putting them here as I finish them because I want to see it fill. And I squished it the other day and like hurt this. But yeah, there they are. Thank you for watching.